That was fun.
And 7 birds come in, they've gobbled hard this morning.
Now back to the turkey calls. That's where we left off.
Yep. So we're going to start on turkey calls, guys, and you have a lot of different variations, but your main variations I brought with us today, just simply because these are what they are. This is your slate. I use a crystal slate. You have stones, tile, whole bunch of different stuff.
Which I got at the house. I haven't.
And he hasn't turkey hunted a lot. It's just what it is. This is your slate. I have a purple haze. It's a crystal slate. I don't regularly use this. And please, yeah, my diaphragms, don't put in your mouth.
No, I'm not going to.
When it comes to calls, I don't mind sharing these kind of calls. But when it comes to turkey calls, the diaphragm calls, those are straight in your mouth, sitting where your hawk reflex is. I'm not using somebody else's, and I'm not allowing them to put mine in their mouth. Comes down to the disinfecting thing and cleaning your stuff. So usually these, you got a striker, and you've got your glass, as they call it, or your stone slate.
I got a couple slates.
The reason they call them the slate is because originally a lot of them just had a piece of slate and a twig. And they would sit there with just this piece of slate in their hand and a twig. And after they rough it up, which I did last night with this guy, so I know I'd be able to make good tones for you. And they just... No, the reason I will straight up say, first hunters should have a slate. If you want a chalk box, I am not the biggest fan of chalk boxes. I believe they're too bulky. They make noise when you walk, no matter, I'm not the biggest fan. I will use them, but I am not the biggest fan of them. Now this one has no chalk in it and has not been chalked for a long time, but you can still make the nice calls. Okay, now this one is fancy. This is the first turkey call I ever purchased because I was brand new to the sport. I didn't know anything about them. I didn't know how to get them. And I just found this thing was nifty. All right, it is one that you actually put on the underside barrel of your shotgun. So that when you're sitting there and you're hunting, you don't got to have anything in your mouth, and you've got minimal movement. And all you'd have to do with it is you place your fingers on it and push down the plunger. And it'll make the same exact sounds as all of these guys will. I don't know the mechanics that are going on in it. You can push down the plunger. Or, as I used to do, I'd have a piece of little string tied to this with a little loop on it. So I'm actually holding my shotgun forward. And this was on the barrel. I could loop my finger into it and just pull it. And the only motion I'm making is just a slight motion. Because I've heard a lot of people say this and I don't know why. A lot of people tell you that turkeys can't see very well at all, and that is a complete and utter lie. If anybody tells you that, just say thank you, smile, and walk away because they don't know what they're talking about. Turkeys have excellent vision. They see in color. That's why you're not supposed to wear anything that's red or blue or white when you go out. Not only that, it's a safety feature because a lot of hunters will see something in that color range, and instead of waiting and making sure that's what it is, they'll blast you.
Oh yeah, the back to the color thing about bright colors. Don't ever use bright colors to hold up your blind.
Yeah. Don't use fluorescent orange trail tape to
tie
tie
a
a
tree.
blind down during a windy day because geese, they see it, they'll come in and just go the other way. Not Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. just word of advice. We learned it firsthand. That's one of the reasons we had a real crappy day one time. So I'll get into diaphragm calls now. Most sets you'll buy, like this is Quaker oats, I'd say that, but it's, you know what I mean, if you know deer calls or any kind of game calls at all, it's made by Quaker oats. Now these diaphragms, they're weird.
Yeah,
I keep mine in the little case they come in, and then what I do after I sanitize them and disinfect them is I actually take a piece of a brown paper bag, and I'll take all my calls, my diaphragms, and I'll layer them in there because it'll help draw the moisture out of the actual mouth pad and away from the latex so it doesn't hurt them at all. And then once it comes season, I'll take them out and then I'll just use them regularly in the case. Now mine is a 3-in-1, and I'll use each one, and you can hear the slight different pitches in them. And when I got the kit, they all had their fancy names and stuff on them and stuff like that to let you know what they called each one. Like one's a top strutter or something like that. But I tend to use this neon green one a lot. I don't know why. It's just the way it is. And they're a double latex system. They have a small, thin one on the top, and then they have a thicker, almost balloon-like material on the bottom. These ones have indicators. These have a little raised bump right in front of my fingertip there. I doubt anybody can see it, but they'll let you know that that's the top of the diaphragm. And a lot of these will come in and they're just a straight piece of fabric around it. It's a big U. And so that you can chop it down and cut it so that it fits your roof of your mouth. I got these ones. They come shaped like this. I think I spent $8 on this set at the local D sporting goods store. I like them. I'll go ahead and do a couple of calls with each one. But I'll pop this guy in. I'll go with the neon green. Then I'll do this white one for you. And then I'll do the darker green. And y'all can hear them. What the difference is. I don't know. Guys, just do your diligence to be good hunters and respectful people out there. I had a guy last year when I went and, if you saw the video for Boss Tom, he swore uphill and downhill the whole rest of early or spring turkey that I screwed his entire hunt up and everything else. But then come to find out, he had to have somebody else come in and call the turkey for him because he could not talk turkey. I was out in that blind. I think we got out there at 5:30 in the morning, and I was walking back with Boss Tom there at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and that was after a full call-in session, the takedown, and the whole pick up and pack out session. So, I mean, it's not other people ruining your hunts. Don't ever believe that unless somebody straight up walks into your area and stands there and does a 10-minute jig in front of your stand. That's a different story.
Oh, that's happened.
But this guy was on the whole other side of the road. He was probably about, a distance between us had to have been close to probably 13, 14 acres of land between us. He was all the way out on the backside of this field. I'm all the way out on the backside of this field. And he swears that my one shot that I made over here ruined an entire month of turkey hunting for him. And the last week of that season, he had somebody else come in and call turkeys for him, and he got a turkey. So practice your calling, watch videos, do your research, learn, and I know this is a bad word for it, but learn your prey. You are the predator. If you're gonna hunt, learn your game.
Learn their habitats.
Not only that, but learn the way they talk.
Oh yeah.
You know, just like with any of these, if you're not using your calls the right way, that animal knows that that's not what I'm looking for.
True, but
Good.
you also need to learn their habits, their habitat, what they eat.
Yeah.
And make sure you know your area. Because you could get lost easily when you're out hunting.
Yeah. We've proved that a couple of times now. So I'll go ahead and pop this in, do a couple of calls with this one. I think I talk reasonable turkey. And I'm not bad at the turkey hunting. I've not only got one myself, but as you guys saw in Boss Tom as well, I took my brother-in-law hunting, got him one. He was having trouble finding one last year, and I was able to get one found for him. Not one, but several actually on both accounts, both hunts. But we only allowed one turkey two toms during spring. You allow 2 toms during spring or a bearded hen. Which sounds weird, but hey, bearded women, bearded hen, I guess. But without further ado, the sounds of the turkey. Yeah, still don't like them. There's that one. I'll make sure to disinfect all these guys again once I get home because they're going to get put up for till spring. But not every animal is going to make their sounds perfect. Not every animal gets out there and sounds, exactly what they are. Like, not every duck gets out there and properly makes a proper... No, they screw up. They have little hiccups and dry throats and stuff too. So if you accidentally miss a tone in your call, guys, do not fret about it. Just clear your throat out or whatever again and run it. They're not going to be perfect. You heard me kind of hiccup a little bit on that call. They're doing the same thing. They're not making the perfect noises. Jakes and young hens are still learning how to talk, just like any baby of anything. It doesn't know exactly the sounds it has to make right out of the get-go. They make sounds, and then they learn how to mimic their adult sounds, and then they learn what they actually mean. So if you have a little in the middle of your calling, don't worry about it. They all do it. They all do it. I heard a gobbler once that went for like 10 minutes. And that's what he did. That was his tone that he would make. That's all he did was He was like, what the hell? What's wrong? Sounded like every time he went to talk, another turkey walked over and chopped him in the throat. Like, shut up, dude. That's a hunter. But, all right, this is the white one. It's a little more flimsy, and both reeds on it seem to be a little thicker. But pop it in and try it out. I don't tend to use this one at all just because, I don't know, it's not my favorite one. I use that neon green one or this dark green one. I like those ones. It's just the way I like the way that they feel more than this one. There's that one. That one seems a little deeper in tone. And then we have probably the one that I've used the most. I do believe this one was in my mouth when I got Boss Tom. It seems pretty much identical to the white one I had, except it seems to be just a slight more thinner latex diaphragm on it. This is the one that I like the most. It's I don't know, something to do with the contour. It feels all right in my mouth. Tell you one thing though, guys, these diaphragm ones, they will dry your mouth out. Nyah. turkey calling is fun. It is a great thing to just pass your time, or guys do what I do. Annoy the hell out of the wife with it. It is hilarious. And the reason I know how turkeys talk, guys, I raised a turkey for Thanksgiving one year.
Concerned that both of us had turkeys, and we live next to each other, and they're sitting there talking back and forth.
Yeah. I raised turkey for Thanksgiving one year, and his name was, ironically, was Tommy. And he was a big old white turkey, probably at full stance about this. And we're not going to go into the sad story about how my disrespectful neighbors doesn't take care of their dog very well, and it decided to come down and attack my turkey, but
It wasn't this neighbor.
no. And but I used to listen to him how he talked when I went to feed him and when I went to treat him and stuff like that. And I learned, I remembered those noises, and then I implemented them. Because in the springtime, guys, you're trying to sound like a hen going, "Come here, big boy, come over here," which is the exact opposite of what nature has programmed them to do. In nature, a hen sounds off, and a tom stands off in the distance, goes full plumage, and sits there and struts and gobbles to get her attention, to get her to come to him. Now, when you're doing spring turkey hunting, you're trying against everything as nature has programmed this animal to do, to just stand over there and say, "Hi, how you doing?" and get them to come over and try to claim your hen decoys from the Jake or full Tom decoy you have, so that they'll join his harem. I do believe that's the proper term for turkey too, is that they have a harem of hens. I think. Don't hold me to that. I'm not book smart. But yeah. So you're trying to basically get them to go against nature. Unlike when you're deer hunting during rut season. You let out a doe call with your doe estrus out there and the bleat and going on. He wants to come over here. That's why they call it chasing does. Toms don't chase. Toms strut. That's why, when you see a guy walking down with his chest out with a brand new suit on, they don't call him a chasing. They call him strutting. Because he's acting like a male bird. Because birds stand out there and, yeah,
Like
look
to
at
strut
me.
their stuff. Huh?
Right. And you will hear, spring turkey, man, there's nothing better than sitting out there early in the morning, hitting that call once or twice, and hearing that guy across that field shot gobble at you. I have become a very avid turkey hunter since I've got started this. And it's because I love deer hunting, don't get me wrong. But like I said a little while ago, bird hunting, that is something completely different. If you are sick and tired of sitting in the stand, freezing, doing nothing besides just sitting there and staring,
Hoping you don't fall asleep.
and getting that 4-day stare out of blind, and going,
We got a big enough blind we can put a bed in for a junior now.
I hope there's something comes through. I hope there's something comes through. Bird hunting is a lot different. At least duck, geese, and turkeys, because you can be vocal. You have something to do, something to occupy your time. Where even when you're rattling, you're only supposed to for maybe a minute at the most. Then you just go back to this.
But, being said, don't call too early.
Right. Try to wait till at least 5-10 minutes after first light. What my rule is for turkey hunting: listen for an owl. Listen for
The first
a
call.
crow. They will. A lot of times when you get turkey call kits, you'll have an owl call or a crow call in there. They call them a crow locator call, because a turkey that's in a roost will sound off to a crow call or to an owl, because an owl goes to sleep after its morning call. A crow is just getting up. So if they hear an owl go off and then a crow go off, well, that signals to them that now it's bedtime for owl, morning time for crow. Now it's time for us to wake up, and then just listen, because there's something magical about the call that a turkey makes on its way down out of the roost in the morning. if you were lucky enough and close enough to their roosting tree, and you can hear them flop down out of the tree while they're on the way down, it's magical to me. It really is. It's something, just that whole aspect of nature itself just brings a whole new meaning once you actually get out there and you get to experience some of these things that you see and you hear hunters talking about, but you never get to experience, and then all of a sudden you experience yourself. Like the first time you have a group of geese or ducks, that you've called and they answer back and they come cupping in. Something about just watching them just float in.
It's the land and the takeoff to me all the time.
It's just something about that slow coming in, and you're just like, wow, that's cool. And then you're like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to shoot that. That's right. Bam! It was like Boss Tom. I had opportunity to shoot him in front of my entire blind that whole time. But it wasn't until they got over to the designated turkey window in my blind now, because every turkey that's ever been shot out of it has been shot through a damn hole this big. Instead of the huge opening blind, we shoot them out of a hole that big. Both me and my brother-in-law did the same damn hole. Even though they come right in front of us, but it's just something about watching, because watching a pack of turkeys run in, it's almost like watching a pack of little velociraptors or friggin' gallimimuses running. Like,
you should see them during squirrel season or mid deer season when you walk up on them. They're all piled up together.
Yeah,
that's something else.
Yep.
I have yet to go turkey hunting, but this will be my first year, actually.
Yep. I'm gonna damn well make sure I can get my normal spot where I got Boss Tom at. I tried turkey hunting there this fall, guys, but I got rained out like no tomorrow, and it was bad. So that is the thing about calls. Find ones you like. Find ones that sound good. Ducks are easy. Deer, pretty simple. Geese, same thing as a duck. Simple.
I will say that different wood calls,
Different sounds.
different sounds, because the wood itself makes a different tone to the call itself.
Then you got all these fancy turkey calls up there. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this episode of Outdoors with the Common Man. We went over what calls that we use in all of our videos so far. Our ducks, our geese, our deer, our turkey. And now the season has come to an end for us, guys. I really appreciate you joining us for the 2020 hunting season. And hopefully come springtime, we'll have another great start to episodes for you guys with snow geese and turkey and fishing, and we'll just keep going. Maybe even this year, guys, we'll go ahead and get ourselves a good video of us going out frogging or something for you.
And leave your comments and tell us what you want us to do or try out.
Yep. So once again, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that like button. As he said, leave your comments down below. We always like to hear from them. So catch you guys next time. Outdoors with the Common Man. Real videos for real people. See you next time.
Don't forget to stop by Worthington's for all your firearms and ammunition needs. When you stop by, mention Outdoors with the Common Man and receive a 5% discount off in your order. Thank you.
Hey guys, if you like good food, good times, and good people, don't forget to check out the Montague Inn in Montague, New York, at the top of Tug Hill. Mention OCM or Outdoors with the Common Man, and also mention Tug Hill Annie, and you guys are going to receive a 10% discount on your stay at the hotel, or your food bill, or your bar bill. Just mention Outdoors with the Common Man and Tug Hill Annie.
Oh no, it's fun to make chip noises with it.
Oh no! Back to deer season. You know how you always got that pesky squirrel. I'll to you in a minute.
So I say it's great, or another white place.
So, welcome to Outdoors with Common Man. That's it for this episode.
Oh my god.